Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Andrew from TeamBlacktopYGO here. Today I'm bringing you a video about buying single cards versus boxes or cases or boosters or whatever you want to call them. It's basically going to be a video about why it's cheaper to, pretty much almost always, to buy singles more than the boxes. And I apologize for the stock image versus logo, I guess you could call that there. I didn't find anything else that I had. I didn't really want to go search for a versus or whatever. So let's just get on into the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is that this whole video is based on the most recent core set, Savage Strike. Now there have been sets in the past, such as Battles of Legend, Light's Revenge, and Legendary Collection Kaiba, which did have a lot of value just by buying the boxes and blister packs right out. Less so Legendary Collection Kaiba, but Legendary Collection Kaiba did have that chance to get like a Raigeki or one of the hand traps, or some of like the pricier Blue Eyes cards. And Battles of Legend was just like a really great reprint set all around. You can tell on the box here, it had a reprint of Crystal Wing. I'm pretty sure it was the first non-like championship card version of Minerva, the Lightsworn Ixies monster. So it was a really good value as well. So those are just two examples of like sometimes that you can buy sealed product and plus off of it, but more so Battles of Legend, Light's Revenge. It is disappointing, I will say, that the Relentless Revenge Battles of Legend set did not have that same sort of value to it as Light's Revenge did. Anyway, let's get into the video here. So yeah, like I said, we're going to be using Savage Strike as the backdrop for this. And also, the pull ratios I use are going to be from I saw it on Reddit. It's an Australian site, so they use some like Australian dollars for the numbers, but we can work around that a little bit. So the first thing I want to say right now is that the three most expensive cards from Savage Strike, according to TCG Player at this moment in time, are Pot of Extravagance, Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, aka Thanos Dragon, and the cover card Borreload Savage Dragon. Now I will say, like, these two cards are all pretty good cards for the most part. And gosh, the artwork on Extravagance, I mean, really the artwork on all of them, Phantasme and Borreload Savage 2 are just really good, as a side note. But yeah, these are the three quote-unquote best cards, or at least the most expensive ones from Savage Strike. And here are the pull ratios. Now, the Reddit post that I saw had these ratios for it. I don't know how many sort of boxes they did. I guess off to the side here we can kind of see the box rate or whatever. And the reason why like the box rate looks weird is because I'm pretty sure they tried to approximate the ratio in terms of a box rate. But the ratio is what we're going to use here as far as like how we're going to calculate this, how we're going to calculate like how much you're actually making from the boxes. So that's what we're going to use here. As you can see from this list, the Kaiju, or the Anti-Kaiju, Super Anti-Kaiju War Machine Mecha Thunder King, a mouthful. It is the least, it's the most short printed card. And yes, this set does have short prints. Konami is sort of doing a thing now where they short print stuff in core sets, which is very unfortunate. We kind of hoped it would never go to this, but I think it's been a thing since like, oh, a long time ago actually. But yeah, Konami is short printing stuff in the sets here. So yes, as we can see, the Kaiju, which I didn't include on this list because it's not one of the most expensive cards from the set, at least not in the top three, but it is a short printed card. And you will see that the next most short printed card is the Pot of Extravagance, and that's the most expensive card from the set. So we'll kind of throw that in here in a little bit. So yes, so Pot of Extravagance right now on TCG Player at this current moment in time, it is going for $76.32. And from the Australian or company or whatever store, their ratios or whatever, it has it at 0.200. So if we take this number and multiply by the market price, that's about $15.26 per box. Now, of course, I'm using American market prices versus Australian pull ratios, but I doubt the pull ratios are going to be very different at all, depending on where you're at. So, yeah, like I said, $15.26 per box there, which is pretty decent. Now, of course, most likely you're going to have to buy 5 boxes before you pull one of these cards. That's just how it goes, I suppose. But the more boxes you buy, the higher chance you'll have of buying it, or pulling it, obviously. So yes, $15.26 for Pot of Extravagance, and let's just try to keep these figures in mind a little bit as we proceed. Next card, Phantasme, Thanos Dragon. Its market price is about $59.64, somewhere around there, and its pull rate was 0.217. So of course, if you multiply those together, you get 12.94 per box from Phantasme. And then finally, Borreload Savage Dragon, 2234 at a pull rate of 0.317. Now this one was not short printed at all. I think this one was just like normal, like it had a normal amount of availability, if I'm correct. Or at least as far as, well, as far as the ultras go, I think it was maybe a little bit short printed, but not too much. I think there's some inconclusive results about this one, but I'm gonna go keep consistency here and go with this Reddit post's pull ratios. And so for this one, you know, 22.34 for the price and about 0.317 chance of pulling it, and that is a 708 per box right there. Excuse me. So what does this mean? So here are the price guides for all the cards here. And I know you can't see the names off to the side, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter here. Just know that the probability of pulling the cards is multiplied by the price. And for the average box value that you see here, they use the Australian price. So that's the AUD price. The price is under there. And the scalability factor, these are pre-release hype prices, if you will. So some of them may have gone down, some of them may have gone up. It just depends. So as you can see here, like some of the stuff like Extravagance has gone down, but like some of the other ones like Phantasme and the Borreload Savage, I think they've gone up in price. So that's why they're at where they're at. But what they do here is that they multiply the pull ratio by the AUD price and then by the scalability factor, and then they tally them all up. And at the bottom here, this is 82.85 Australian dollars. Now, the market price currently right now for a box of Savage Strike is 65.56. That's what they're going for. That's actually not a bad price. But I did do a video on it, but I will say this set overall is kind of lackluster. So just keep that in mind. But that's the market price for the box of Savage Strike there. And if you look at this, that price in USD equals about 90.76 Australian dollars. So any way you look at it, you're not getting your value's worth if you buy a box of Savage Strike. I've always harped on this in past videos, like you should always buy not commons, but always buy the singles instead of buying the boxes outright. This is always a smarter idea to do. And like I said, there's always some exceptions, I guess, like Battles of Legend. The Kaiba one still wasn't really a good value as far as plussing on them go. I think like maybe 1 out of every 20 products is a plus. I think that's probably a good estimate, but maybe not even that, to be honest. But there's an error with this figure too, or at least I think. I'm not very advanced in the mathematics behind probabilities, but in order to figure out the actual average box value, based on the ultras and the secret rares. Now, of course, this does not encompass the super rares or the rares or the commons, which some of them have a fairly high price. I know some of the Salamangreat cards do command like a $150 price. I know a Lupine is almost a buck, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but to truly represent this figure, even if we take the scalability away with it, what you'd have to do is you'd have to perform a weighted average of the secret rares. So that means based on their probability of pulling them, and their current market price. You'd have to find the average price of the secret rares, average price of the ultras, average price of the. Supers don't really matter that much, but you could, and the rares and the commons and stuff. But because the ultras and the secrets really make the box, we'll go with those. And then you have to multiply them by their respective ratios. So you have to multiply like 2 by the secrets, 4 by the ultras. How many packs are in a box? I don't know how many packs are in a box, but however many for the ultra or for the supers and the rares and commons and stuff. And you would definitely get a lower number than what we have here. Buying this box is not worth it. Even if you go to TCG Player, like you can see it quite easily on there. The only card that's worth more than the box right now is Extravagance, and it has one of the lowest pull rates out of any card in the box. Not to mention that like it is nigh impossible to pull both a Phantasme and an Extravagance. Like that will almost never happen. So you're almost never ever going to make your money back from this box. And even if you do pull an Extravagance or a Phantasme, most likely you're going to be keeping that card. Extravagance and Phantasme are both really good cards to have around just in case they get hyped up again, or there's a deck that comes out that could really use them. So I don't know. It's always better to buy singles than boxes, but now I hope you understand that a little bit more. I made this video in part because some of my friends were sort of talking about this, saying like, well, if you buy boxes, you get more cards, but I'm like, well, if you buy the singles, yes, it could be more expensive sometimes depending on the card, but you are always guaranteed to get the card that you get. So that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please leave a like on it and subscribe for more content. And if I said anything incorrect in this video, or you want to challenge me on one of these points, or even if you agree with me, please leave a comment down below and let me know what I did wrong. Nevertheless, this is going to be Andrew from Team BlacktopYGO signing off. Thank you so much.